Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the pre-show. We're live. We're going to be live on all the networks soon. Give us 5 minutes to set up all the streamy things. Doing a mic check. Can you guys hear me out there?
Hello, hello. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Gotta give it a second for the Facebook to catch the stream. Here it goes. It says it's fetching.
Hello, Galactic 3D.
Hi, Galactic 3D. How are you doing? Thank you for joining us today. Yes, we are live on Periscope, on YouTube, on Twitch, and Facebook momentarily. There we go.
Hello, hello, Tech Graphics. Alan.
Hello.
Kirby's in the house.
Hello, Kirby. Hey, everybody in Facebook. We're streaming live. We're doing a pre-show. Doing a mic check before we get the show started. Let everybody get in and settle into the interwebs here. Good morning from Kansas. Yay. Hello, Alan.
Hello, 3
We're doing fine. Pedro is better. Were you sick last week?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're good. I didn't get sick yet because I ate a lot of vitamin C tablets and stayed away. Yeah, how's our audio? Is everything kind of working? You can hear it, right?
Hello, hello. Not checking.
Mic checking. I'm going to talk now.
Yes.
Okay. This morning was fun with the coffee. It didn't puncture all the way. I have this K-cup and coffee just spewed it out like something naughty. It's terrible. Coffee grains everywhere. It's hot steaming coffee. It's no, I haven't had coffee yet. Now I have to clean it up. It's terrible. We did not watch The Last Jedi yet. We did not, and we've seen all the spoilers. So, don't ask us what we think of The Last Jedi.
Morning Squid. Gustavo.
Ooh, I like
Z. Lashers. Daniel. Frank.
Yes, audio is fine. Thank you, Rob, for that comment. That lets us know it's working.
Yes, we'll watch it
The Last Jedi.
maybe over the weekend.
I don't know. We'll probably wait until it's on iTunes because that's the way we roll. Did we see Coco? We haven't seen Coco yet either. We're terrible.
We finally just saw Ninjago.
I know. I bought Ninjago.
And now there's Lego pieces everywhere.
Oh my gosh, Gavin destroyed the dragon. Because you know that scene where the dragon, no spoilers, but you know the scene that happens with the dragon. He just loves to reenact all the scenes. And it's Lego, so it's kind of good that it can put it together, but it just looks bad.
Actually, he destroyed the whole the bus, and then he put it all back together.
No.
Very impressive, yeah.
Really? That is impressive, as he breaks it and gets more experience putting stuff together. Ninjago, the intro was a little bit odd to me.
I thought it was good.
Because it's just right away, here we go in the battle. I'd like to have a little bit more of an exposition, but whatever, man, I don't know. I don't write movies. What? It's an after party morning? I guess we gotta get the show started.
Whoops, 1 minute.
Yeah, 1 minute. I have
Audio
the
is all
song
good?
back, so let's check out this song. You guys remember this song? It's one of my favorites. You might want to turn down your bass though. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another 3D Hangout. Forgot my name. I'm Noah, designer here at Adafruit. Joining me every week is Mr. Pedro.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Pedro Ruiz, Creative Tech here at Adafruit, and every week we come to share 3D printed projects featuring electronics from Adafruit.
That's right. This is where we combine 3D printing and DIY electronics to make inspirational projects. Welcome, everybody, to the show. We are live streaming. This is episode 166. Halfway to 200.
Yes.
Well, more than halfway.
Halfway, and then this is the last show of 2017. I can't believe it's the end of the year already. So many projects we worked on this year.
Yeah.
We have a nice recap video, so we'll be going over some of our favorite projects, what we learned, what we could do better, and what we'll do to update them in the upcoming new year. I don't know how we're going to top it.
Yeah, no, it's good. Well said. Let's start up the show with a coupon code, 10% off your order. This is how we pay the bills, folks. This is how we support your maker habits, too. If you want to get anything in the Adafruit shop, you want to check out the holiday kind of deadlines, shipping deadlines. There's always an important thing there. So check it out at adafruit.com/holiday. You can use the coupon code New Year to get 10% off anything in the Adafruit shop. Everything except the subscriptions or this gift certificates.
Yeah, I believe
everything else is fair game.
Based on the banner up there on adafruit.com, nice big red banner at the top.
What's it say?
The 22nd is the...
The
If you order by the 22nd, you won't get it until the 26th. So you want to make sure you go ahead and get your orders out before we run out of everything.
Yeah. Cool. Well, we still have freebies. adafruit.com/free. You can see what is available. These are some goodies. I think we still have them, right? It's hard to know, so buy something and find out. No, there's some good stuff. It's not like just like a little sticker or something. We're giving away actual boards, circuit playgrounds, Gemma M0s, Trinket M0s, and a Perma Proto, which is a great little thing to have. All right, what else we got?
Looks like they're all still in stock, so yeah, just make sure you check that out.
Sweet. There's lots for free shipping and stuff like that for certain areas. Hey, we got same-day delivery in certain areas too. We're in New York City. Check it out. If you're in New York City and want something in the same day, we have that option. We have several newsletters. This is the Adafruit Daily newsletter that's still growing. It's kind of nice. Yeah.
Thank you all for subscribing to the 3D printing, maker business, wearables, electronics,
CircuitPython, all that. We got a product-focused one called the new newsletter, adafruit.com/newsletter. None of this is tied to your account, so you have to specifically subscribe to it. Right? It's not automatic. We're going to check out Discord later on. There's some cool projects in the Show and Tell channel. If you want to share your projects on the Show and Tell channel, you can do that. You can get project help. And we can talk after the show as well, which is fun. So, this week's projects.
Actually, because it's really just a recap, let's go ahead and jump over into what we're prototyping for this week.
I thought we were going to do this one. No?
Yeah, we'll do that afterwards. It's just because we can let that drag on to the end.
What are you prototyping? Do you want to go first?
This week,
well, you already have
putting together a nice little enclosure for that very cool LED sand project that Phil B has been working on. If you guys don't follow Paint Your Dragon, do yourself a favor and follow all of his awesome behind the scenes of some of the awesome code that he's been working on. Phil B, father of the NeoPixel code, and I think there were some questions about programming the Firewalker Gemma. If you go into the forums, you'll probably get a message from Phil B, the guy who made all of that code work. But if you haven't seen it, I don't know if you want to quickly pull it up. We're using a Feather M0 and this really cool little Charlie Plex wing that has a bunch of digitally simulated LED quote-unquote sand. So when you rotate this around, the LIS 3DH is telling it where the position of it is, and the sand will go over to whatever side you are positioning at. Super cool. No one's pulling up the video on how that looks because I have not put together the circuit for this yet. I think we're looking at it on the screen right now. He's been doing some really cool power consumption tests to figure out what sort of battery and how to have everything together. I think we're playing it on the screen. It looks super cool. I think I'm gonna make it into a nice little. I think it is, yeah.
Is that me or is that Phil B?
I remember it being regular motion, yeah.
You can go check out Phil B's Twitter
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, I think he did it in slow motion just to show it.
Just to show what the physics look like. It's fake physics, but it's good enough to trick the eye. Really love the effect that this has given us here.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna make it into like a little pendant you can wear it, like sort of spin it around, and it'll like go with the sand to sort of have it go all over the place.
Yeah.
So simple little case design. The suggestion that he had is to sandwich the Charlie Plex and the Proto, have the battery sandwiched between there. So we're using the 350 milliamp hour battery to sort of compromise between having something small that is about the same width as the Feather Wings and the Proto. So we'll have that sandwiched in there like that. And instead of using headers to make this a little bit smaller, make a nice little circuit sandwich. And then I'll make a little mount that will hold this in place over the prototyping area. And then I'll squish into a nice little neat snap fit together box. And then we'll have some sort of mechanism on the back here that'll allow it to spin around. Originally we wanted to have like a gyro, sort of like, you know, one of those gyro spinny things.
Sure.
But as we thought about it, we were like, well, once it's spinning the other way, we're not gonna see the cool effect of it. So now we're just gonna have it spin just on, you know, one axis. So you can see all of the awesome simulated digital glory of the LED sand. So awesome project. We should have this out. Forgot what we scheduled it for, but in January.
Somewhere in January.
Somewhere in January. Awesome, nice little starter for the year. Or actually, no, you'll be going up first. So we will, I think if you check out our GitHub page under the Learn tree or repo for that.
Oh, you want the code?
All of the code is actually being uploaded there, so you can take a sneak peek at some of the project code that the team members are working on before we finish the projects. Go ahead and take your own spin on the code for that.
Yeah, this is github.com/Adafruit. I'll just put the link in the chats.
Oh, yeah.
The various chats. So that chat, and I'll do, why not, Facebook since I have it here.
Cool.
There you go. So if you want some codes, codes, there it is. I don't know what is it called?
LED sand, something like that. I think he already pushed it out, so it should be on there somewhere.
Yeah, there's a lot.
You can lurk through there, and yeah, there it is. There's REMI and all that stuff in there.
Wow.
This will work on a 32U4 and the M0s.
Using the LIS 3DH library.
Which I think Tony D finished porting a couple weeks ago.
The CircuitPython. Yeah, but this is written in C. Because, you know, fast. You got to sample the accelerometer really, really quickly.
It's a really cool project.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, a lot of great document.
There's some craziness going on in there.
Yeah. So cool.
Yeah, you can lurk through that. Take a look at how Philby likes to rate things up. Very awesome.
Sweet.
So that'll be out for next week. And if you guys have any suggestions, I did see Imagination to Form. Yes, we did look at putting this on a servo. It would just simply spin it. Robot arm would be awesome, like have it shake around or something. But yeah, very cool project from Phil B. Got the inspiration from, I forget who posted it, Caleb Krapp, I think, posted a picture of when he was at one of the maker fairs. And there was like a light bulb or something.
Pixels, I think it was called.
Super cool. So this will be our nice little take on that. So stay tuned for that one. Of course, follow us on all the socials for all of the behind the scenes on the build process for this.
Sweet.
Noah, you got some updates to your very cool slider. Yes,
I do. I am working on the guide, and it's sort of a work in progress, but the build itself is kind of done. So it's a bit of a big project in terms of size. It's not huge complexity, but this is it. So this is a camera slider. The way it works is there's a stepper motor over here. You can't really see it. Stepper motor's over here. An Adafruit Metro is right here with a Adafruit motor shield. Sorry. And there's no battery in here, so you can plug it into the wall. I feel like I'm gonna hit you in the head. Or you can program it through USB. So the deal is that you can record time lapses and get motion with your time lapse when you set a camera on here. So there is a spot here for a camera tripod to sit on here. And there's an idler over here. And really, the main update to this was to add more support to it and to be able to mount the entire assembly to a set of tripods. You can either do one tripod or two tripods. It is 500 millimeters in length. This is a supported linear bearing rail that we sell in the Adafruit shop. And it's mainly used for CNC projects, so like pick and place machines, 3D printers, or in this case, a motorized camera slider. So all of the parts are, all the parts are kind of printed in different colors on purpose, just kind of showcase the different mounting pieces. These honkin' pieces of aluminum are slotted extrusions, and they're really nice. So a lot of the mounts actually have these little kind of nubs that lock and slide into these things, and then I'm using M4 screws with oval T-nuts to kind of secure everything down in place. So the original slider didn't have any support on the back, so it kind of flexed a bit, and that would make the belt kind of get loose. So the whole thing about this is that it is less friction when you actually slide. There's less friction. There's no grinding happening. There's a little cap right here that shows the radial ball bearing. So there's a radial ball bearing right there, and this is a timing belt. Forget the length of it, but the way it kind of works is that the belt gets kind of press fitted into this little notch groove thing, and then this one is a little bit more wider so that it allows it to move like that. There's also a belt tensioner there. You don't really need that, but it's there. Shout out to Kirby, who gave me the inspiration to add slotted mounting holes so that you can adjust the tensioning. So you can push this all the way back, loosen the screw and the nut, and then kind of have more freedom to adjust the tensioning of the belt by just moving the bracket or the mounting piece back more that way. So this aluminum extrusion, I've known about it, but I really didn't plan to use it. So when I saw John Park build a frame out of this stuff for his Gemma iPad CircuitPython pinball table, I was like, hey, this is a really good material to build on top of. So I got some, and I just kind of had it laying around. And I was like, hey, you know, this might actually help add a tripod support to the bottom here. So I have a tripod quick release plate, so this mounts onto a tripod. And the other side is where the motor is. So this is a standard stepper motor, the NEMA 17. And this is, I forget the timing pulley numbers, but it has a toothed timing pulley, and it matches really well with the timing belt. So this is a G2 timing belt, and it kind of works like that. It's controlled by Bluetooth, so if we open up the case, you can see the Bluetooth module here. It's NRF51, I believe, and the motor driver is the Adafruit kind of Arduino shields. I kind of swapped out the Uno for the Metro, because I really like that it has an on-off switch and it uses micro USB. So there's the micro USB, but you definitely want to power it with 12 volts, so that's why we have a barrel jack here, so you can fully power. And this thing can push up to 7 pounds, which is amazing. This can push 7 pounds horizontally and vertically, so you can actually have it move your camera up and down vertically, and it can push about 3 pounds going that way. So ideally you want to use it with something like a GoPro or a mobile phone like an iPhone or an Android or a Google phone. So yeah, it works pretty well. I've been doing a lot of iteration on it, mainly because it's like as you use it, you kind of find other things to kind of update and tweak. And it's all been modeled in CAD, which is a nice experience to kind of get so many components in together.
So many.
Yeah, so I guess I could show a kind of a sample video of it. So what would you use a slider for? Well, building things. So this is me building the Winter Village, the Lego kit. And it just kind of, you know, pans and moves along the table. So I have it set up on a table, and you can, of course, set it up on a tripod, because that's the main kind of update to this project, but it's a lot more smoother. So what you could use it for is, of course, taking pictures of clouds and things like that. But I think for your projects and stuff, if you'd like to document and showcase the process, it could add a lot of interest to your project. So let's say you're doing something really repetitive, like you're sanding stuff. Maybe you're a woodworker and you're just sanding a lot. Having a motion-based time-lapse can really showcase the environment that you're in and just the progress of time, because that's really ideally what it's for. So obviously we'll talk more about how to build it and how to use it in the coming weeks. But this is just kind of a quick look, first look at the slider. Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely takes whatever you're building to the next level, because you're able to see it at different angles as you're building said thing. Instead of just having it stationary, you can change the angle, because as you see with anything, especially like something that's being built up, it's nice to see a nice little 3D view of it in time lapse.
Yep. The motor, it's a NEMA 17 motor.
Yep. Yeah, you can get these anywhere. We just grabbed it from the shelves there.
Thank you. Yeah, so we've been using it on various projects, on a lot of the time-lapse, 3D printing time-lapses. I'm starting to use it more. I'm starting to use it for just kind of random things here and there. Yeah.
Definitely gives it more depth to the build. Cool.
Yeah, because normally our tripods are just locked down and it's just recording the time-lapse, which is fine. But sometimes you want to see more. A lot of the times when you print something, and you have the time-lapse, you can't see the edges of it, and it's like, oh, I wish I rotated in the slicer to see more depth, more angle of the part that I'm time-lapsing.
It's actually one of
the. This helps because you're painting and moving at the same time.
I've actually had to redo time-lapses just because of that. When you play back the footage, it's like, oh man, you can only see. Yeah, it doesn't look as cool as having it angled at
straight on. You can't really see. Like for example, the car, you can't really see the angle of it. Yeah. So anyway, that's what I've been working on for a little bit here. And it's based off of the original, because this isn't like, this is an upgrade to an original project, to a classic project that we did a couple of years ago.
Yeah, you can actually do the simplest form of this project. I think I started this, I don't remember, 3-4 years ago, where it's basically just the mounting plate and 2 feet at the edge, and you can just push it yourself.
That's right.
Most easiest way to
the
build that.
Camera slider. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's not too heavy either. The linear sliding rail is probably the heaviest thing of this thing, because it's made of steel. But the aluminum extrusions are nice, and this is just the guide in kind of draft mode, because I haven't finished it yet, so I don't have any a lot of pictures for it. But here's a quick look at all the 3D printed parts. There are quite a bit, not too many, but there's a good amount. It takes about like an hour for each print or each part, so. Some of them print quicker than others, but I like printing them in different colors just to showcase the different, where the things go. It kind of helps you visually, which is kind of nice. And obviously you could print them in, ABS or copolyester or something, but PLA is working for me, because I'm not using it outside too much. But if you were to use it outside for nature stuff, I would definitely recommend printing it in a much stronger material, or maybe high temperature PLA. That's the thing too. So, cool. Again, we'll talk more about it because it's still in progress. But if you want to pick up the parts to get it going, like maybe the stepper motor or the actual driver, the shield, you can use coupon code here. All the parts are in stock, I believe.
Yeah, so we did do a sliderception. Yanni and Imagine to form a saying.
That's funny.
We did slide on the slider for the hero shots.
Yeah, I did. Cool.
And I really like how the smaller one, where it's just the analog one, you're able to fit that into tiny spaces that we weren't able to fit the bigger slider into. So that definitely comes in handy. And you can carry this in the backpack too. Yeah. Break it down, and it's just a.
Yeah, I don't think you can find one this small.
No, I'm talking about the smaller one, the analog one that we started off with.
It's not that much bigger. It's pretty much the same.
I mean, it doesn't have the additional extrusions on the side.
Yeah, it's that much bigger.
Actually, compare it. You want to bring it over there? We'll do that next.
Yeah, we'll do it next
in
time.
January. Yeah, I think you will be actually the first project of the year for that one.
Yeah, I think so.
And we'll do the LED
I
stand after that.
Done this week, but man, I killed myself doing it.
I know.
It's a lot to document.
There's so much.
Yeah, it's more about assembly. Like, there's so many. I had to break up the guide into many different pieces, because it's like, here's just one assembly first, right?
There's multiple sub-assemblies, yeah.
Yeah, and then here's the bearing assembly, right?
Liz is saying that she loves the colors. It was by necessity, because we didn't have all of the same color. We had to print this on multiple printers
at first, and then I was like, you know what? This actually helps tell where these parts go.
Oh, yeah.
And they're funky colors. Melt ink makes these funky colors that are just like the 80s colors. I love them.
And they're fluorescent too, so you can put them under a
Some of them
black
are.
light and
Yeah,
they
some of them are.
glow really nice.
So I like that the stepper motor is just a screw block terminal, so you don't have to like really solder it. But you kind of do for the Blue Fruit module. Anyway, working on the guide. It's a work in progress. That's what we're working on.
Oh, Squid is asking, first time here, how long do these last? It's about an hour, so
Yeah,
we'll be done about 12.
Yeah, we try to do about an hour.
Yeah, we got about 40 more minutes.
Cool. Well, let's segue into the shop talk. Or community makes? I don't know. I'm lost.
What do we have for shop talk?
Yeah,
Sorry.
I have notes.
Look at my notes. Now let's just go ahead and talk about this week's video. It is basically just a recap of all the projects we worked on this year. This is only like not even half of the projects we worked in this year.
We tried to say it in the description, like, these aren't all the projects, these are just the ones we could fit in a minute and that were most visually appealing, I think. Because a lot of them are like, not a lot of them, but you know, there's a good wide range of not just projects, but like
like the
process.
PCB one, masking PCB one we didn't include.
Sure.
We didn't even include the iPhone bumpers or like the...
Yeah, this is very practical, but yeah, visually stunning is what we're looking for. Okay, so where do you want to start?
Let's just go down the list.
Okay.
The Google AI, which was last week. Some of the cool things I think people were saying was adding servos, so the ears would move as it's speaking. Definitely, they do supply code, so you could do that. That would be an awesome addition to that. And yes, we are looking at getting the Google AI, the camera kit one, so we'll definitely do a project when that is released. I think we're going to stock that. The micro USB dock, I think like, I don't know, like just embellishments like adding LEDs or something like that on the inside was cool. I know we're going to be doing more NeoPixel painters for the next year, so maybe bigger or simpler ways to actually assemble this.
Yeah, I'd like to make it more of a sign because your hand, timing your hand to the rate of it flashing is a little bit difficult. I know when we were doing photography, it was like...
So somebody was saying having like a motion sensor in it, so it as it's detecting where it's going, it'll actually adjust the flashing of the timing of the pixels for that.
Right. Or putting it on a fan or
a bike,
bike spokes.
like that.
That's typically what people do.
Okay. We're always going to do like cases for mobile phones. So
every year there's an update to it.
Yeah.
This one is like a 2-for-1 because you got to do an update to the telescope adapter. So once you create a case for,
I think it was 3-for-1 because I made one Ninja Flex and PLA.
Yeah,
and it was a nice, because the last time we actually made one was like a couple years ago when we were still using like Autodesk and Maya to model all these, none of which had a timeline or sketch-driven design. So
yeah, those are more for polygon modeling, so characters and things like that.
Animation.
Yeah, it's not really,
So definitely a nice way to see just the light of, oh wow, I can actually go back in time and adjust a tolerance setting on this, or adjust the sizing for accounting for elasticity in material, like Ninja Flex or PLA.
Yeah.
That was a cool, nice learning on that.
The MP3 Feather was a nice collaboration.
Yes, shout outs to Carter Nelson who built the code for that. Nice idea that he had, ran it through Lamar, and she was like, yes, please make an MP3 Feather CircuitPython based player. Yeah.
We were talking about the solder mask stuff. This was fun. This really shows how people are more interested in processes and not projects, because then you can
apply it to your own project.
You can apply that. And just kind of get an insight as to this, because I've never done this. There's a lot of fail in it, but it's good to see that. It's good to see it and reflect on it and kind of learn from it. Glowing skull. This was a fun, kind of easy one. Kind of toy hacking, just sticking lights inside of existing things. You don't have to 3D print everything, and that's really nice to do. Let's see, the Boomy Pi Airplay Boom Box. This was fun. This was a lot of different disciplines combining together. So 3D printing, CNC milling, and of course designing like simple PCBs in EagleCAD and then machining them on another mill. That was a nice mix of different projects. So it's a good example of how you can combine all these things together to make a kind of nice looking box. Cases for Circuit Playground. That was a fun challenge in design, how you can use different shapes and apply your kind of snap fit cases, lids to these different shaped cases. So that was neat. Nintendo Switch dock.
This was an idea by Phil. I think everybody saw the little viral video that went around with the projection dock that was out earlier this year. So nice way to take something apart, look at the insides, and realize, oh my god, there's so much wasted space in there. We got to use our DIY HDMI cables in that to make it even thinner. And of course, there's more ideas on the board in terms of making a themed Nintendo Switch dock.
Yep. Joy controller. This one, another PT idea. Since this was like a pin that was a part of one of the Ada boxes. The one, I think it was 05 or 04, I can't remember, sorry. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Again, custom PCB, EagleCAD, other mill, 3D printing, and Phil B wrote the software for making Joy's eyes rotate, which was a lot of fun. Portable G charger, this was a really nice, useful one.
Yeah, this was fun. Just combining everything in the smallest package you can and fitting everything in is always a fun design challenge. I know we're going to revisit this. Making Lamar wanted like one for your car, so that'll be definitely cool to see how we can fit that in there.
LED acrylic signs. Yeah, I've seen edge lit acrylic signs before, but I never done one. And until you do one, you really realize how. Well, in my case, I used Fusion and I learned how to use CAD and how to do engraving, toolpaths in Fusion. That was a little good learning. Excuse me. And of course, it's written in Python, so CircuitPython, sorry. So it's easy to change up the code and make it do rainbows or different colors. And wow, excuse me. It was a great remix project. A lot of people remixed it and showed how you can use different materials to make different kind of colored scenes. So it's kind of neat. Gemma M0 case. The Gem M0 came out this year, so we made a case for it.
Nice little update.
The little different thing about that one was it has a little switch actuator. So that was a nice kind of thing to kind of lock onto these little tiny little switches to make it more accessible for like kind of bigger fingers.
There's still some more projects coming out for the wearable side of the Gemma M0, maybe some earrings or something like that. There's lots of really cool things you can do with that.
Yeah.
And as you discovered, making the Sheikah pendant.
Yeah, this was interesting because at first I was kind of struggling to figure out what to do with this thing. With the Gemma M0, is like I can put it on my ears, but then it's huge and honking. And the kind of thing I like about it is to separate the NeoPixel jewel from the Gemma, and then the necklace is the wire. So that was kind of like a unique thing that I hadn't done before in a design. So I thought that was neat. And of course, there's a good mix of like dual extrusion, transparent material, and then masking it with a dark material to get this really neat effect. And it's powered by CircuitPython, so it's easy to reprogram it. So that was neat. Pedro's Thunder Helm was a great exercise in modeling a giant thing that fits over your head. We have a 3D scan of Erin St. Blaine's head, which is a 1-to-1 scale of her head. So we tend to use that a lot for making helmets because you get a general idea of if the contour of your mask or your helmet is actually going to fit on a real human head. So a lot of printing, a lot of trial and error, a lot of painting. It's a big project, literally. The scale when it's large. It goes in your head.
Yeah, had a lot of fun in making a different type of helmet than I'm usually used to making, so it was really cool having the open back side of that. And super surprised that that little whatever crest thing in the back actually stands upright and had enough weight to replicate what it looks like in the game, so that was fun.
The arcade bonnet controller. This one was like kind of a what you would see from a laser cut box, I would say. You have like these giant standoffs and you have these flat panels, but I 3D printed it with different designs on it, so good exercise in dual extrusion. It took a lot of trial and error to get that dual extrusion to work right, as it is with any dual extruder thing. Let's see, the Guardian Robot Zelda. This is kind of simple animatronics where the servo, moves the head and the body stays in place. There's dual extrusion. This is interesting because I didn't design the body, but I did modify it so that it would house all the electronics and stuff. So that was fun. LED eyes is a simple, easy project that, well, it's not, I wouldn't say it's easy. I'd say it's simple in terms of electronics because it's just a battery coin cell holder and a couple of LED sequins, which are surface mounted little sequin LEDs, and you can stick them on your head or anywhere. Yeah. I was going to stick them on the edge of my glasses because I thought it'd be neat.
Did look pretty cool.
It did look cool, yeah. We ran out of time though. What about your shield?
Continuing on with the Zelda theme was this very nice shield. The last one I did was the Highland one, and that was before I had like the heated bed, so there was some warpage on that, so I wasn't really happy with the way that one turned out. But this one turned out a nice big size for it just because of the way that it's designed, so we're able to piece it out into smaller components to build the bigger shield for it. And I really like that you are able to break this down to the smallest little center part of it, so you can actually drag this around into cons. Transport it, yeah.
Yeah, I love seeing people actually make it, and some folks laser cut it, and it looked amazing when they laser cut it out of this kind of clear acrylic. I didn't think nobody would do it.
I didn't think that people would, but the star of this year is definitely like the big cheap printers like the CR10, you know, for like $200-300 you can get this 12 by 12 by 12, which is 300 by 300 by 300 millimeter.
So you can print these giant cosplay items for relatively affordable.
Yeah, so I'm definitely not going to shy away from building larger models for cosplay stuff in the coming year.
And I was surprised again by the community that took it upon themselves to, no, I'm going to cut this up and make it fit on my printer.
Yeah, the smaller printers, yeah.
That one, we have lots of remixes to these big projects where they cut it in half, add the tabs, and use the components that we give, because you go away all the files, the Fusion 360 files. And you don't have to use Fusion 360, you can use another.
You can export step files or whatever, and whatever program you're comfortable in.
The feather fingerboard was a fun kind of exercise in just creativity.
How do we make a board or an enclosure for the feather that's not typical or traditional? And PT had the idea of having fingerboards.
He wakes up at night, he's like, oh, I'm gonna make feather fingerboard. Feather board.
You got several emails throughout the day on, oh, this is a cool remake. This is cool, and it's always like really cool ideas that we never think of that.
I never would have thought of this.
Really nice views on.
I still follow people on Instagram for inspiration on fingerboarding. It's like I had to learn how to fingerboard. Yay!
And of course, the way that was mounted, and the thing that obviously got us excited is the different modeling methods that were actually used to create this. So I did one in the sculpting environment. You did one using patches, which turned out to be the best way to make the curvatures of the boards.
Nice, it was a good learning exercise.
A nice way to thicken your geometries when you're drawing the curves, and it's actually a nice way to control it, unlike the sculpting environment where they don't even have a timeline in there. You do something and that's it. It's like just, it's like carving, with like chiseling away at a rock.
It's fun because you approach these projects like, okay, how do you design this? And you're like, well, how do they actually get designed? So how to make a mold, how do the actual skateboards be made? What are the convex and the concaves, and what's the tail and what's the head? A lot of engineering and design that goes into
stuff that goes through even a simple project.
Anyway, sweet. Let's skip around a little bit. I'll miss the Guardian robot was just going to be a time-lapse Tuesday, and I was like, I could probably put LEDs in it, and it just grew out of control.
Yeah, so the person who modeled this, you probably already said this, really helped in redesigning some of this.
Yeah, Steve on Thingiverse.
You did this all in Fusion, so you were able to share files back and forth. So that definitely helps out if you guys ever want to collaborate on a project. That's the best way to do it that way. Boomy.
That was the first one? That was for the Ada box, 05 or 06? Probably 05 or 04. Sorry, I can't remember. Okay, that one was fun. Again, it was designed by Bruce Yan. The pins, all of our pins and characters are designed by Bruce Yan, and then turning it into a 3D model was a lot of fun.
It's always fun.
Arcade box, I still have it now. I still use it all the time. This is the one I use for switching between scenes. So if you want to make a CircuitPython USB kind of keyboard with arcade buttons, this is a great project to do it.
That is I think it's not highlighted enough. You plug it in, it loads as a USB drive. open up the text file that is controlling all the key commands, and you can edit those.
It can do macros?
You can do macros. It's so awesome. And there's more media keys actually being added later on this year. Lamar's going to work on some code for that, so that's going to be awesome. Make a Gemma-powered one.
Yeah,
That'd be
for
really
me,
cool.
for my part of it, it was a lot of exercising in parametric design. So I'm using user parameters, so I can say, I want 6x6, I want 4x6, I want 8x8.
I want it to fill a 300 by 300 bed.
Yeah, and the CAD will just grow with it, and including features like the snap fit nubs and the indentations in the covered's lid. So all these things get updated. It's pretty nice.
And then we actually sourced the smaller 24mm arcade buttons for this as well.
Yeah, because they're nice low profile, and they
Definitely
have LEDs built into it.
Definitely recommend those over any of the other arcade buttons. Super, super cool.
Hydro dipping, another process one, or process? Yes, another
Process.
process type project. Hydro dipping, you know, we've heard about hydro dipping. You put a bunch of spray paint in a bucket and you dip your thing. This was neat because we didn't know about full color graphics that you could do. So we actually now sell those sheets because we didn't when we first made it. Where is it? Is it right here? Yeah, we show these. We show paper. Tell us about this paper.
So we did a couple of different sourcing when trying to find a really good one. And this turned out to be the best because you didn't have to add any what they call activators. You didn't have to spray anything else onto it. It's just hot water to get this to work. Full color inkjet printer required, of course. I mean, they're like, I'm sure everybody has a 2D printer. And this definitely brings your project to life. For 2018, Wolaski was asking, are we going to do more hydro dipping? So the original plan for this was doing UV unwrapping, which is for, if you guys are familiar with 3D animation or modeling, it's in which you take the geometry of the outside of, say, like a face and sort of unwrap it so you can see what the deformation looks like, so that all of the curvatures actually go around a rounded model. So you'll flatten out what the texture actually looks like. And that was originally what the video was going to be about, going into a 3D package. Probably going to be Maya, though, because that's the only one that I'm really familiar with in terms of doing UV unwrapping for texturing. So it's going to be for getting those textures in there. And it's pretty simple on just unwrapping a UV texture for having a apply properly on a rounded model. So definitely going to look at that for 2018.
Sweet.
So more hydro dipping for that.
All right, next page, because we have 2 pages. Okay, hey, I did an upgrade to the 5-inch monitor. This is just kind of your own DIY monitor that has a built-in HDMI driver. And
this was
just kind of updated the case so I didn't use screws. You know, you usually put like screws in every corner, and
that definitely starts getting into the way of making a slim case. So those snap together nubs.
That worked out really well here. Yeah.
And then for me, the 7-inch mini PC was again pretty much the same thing. Getting rid of all of those screws and slimming down the size of the enclosure for the 7-inch display that we have in the shop. It's the HDMI ready one. We were able to use the DIY HDMI cable that we started stocking this year.
Yeah.
And we
these
stuck
are awesome.
a Kangaroo PC on the back. So we have a full-fledged Windows PC that's, you know, the 7-inch, nice portable you can carry around. The main reason I used this for was to update the firmware on the printers so I didn't have to drag my laptop over to it.
Nice. Okay. Hey, every year I put LEDs on a skateboard. This year I integrated them into a truck riser pad. So all the electronics are fitted into the truck.
So this was an idea from, who was it, from The Office, who wanted the truck risers, one of the skateboarders in the Adafruit office. Who was like, oh, you should just build it into the trucks.
Yeah, I thought it was a bad idea because like, no way, it'll totally break. But no, it didn't. She printed hot enough and strong enough.
So we're definitely going to be doing more because we realize, you know, the most popular form of skateboard are those tiny little penny boards. So we will be fitting those with the brand new side lit LED strips that we just started stocking, I think last week or the week before in the shop. So we're going to have those fitted onto a little penny board for next year.
Yeah.
Breath of Fresh Air, a Guardian Sword. Super fun one. This is like one of my favorite cosplay swords that I worked on this year.
One of the most popular videos, I think, too, because it's just...
I didn't think anybody was going to care about this, but yeah, just the way that it looks, the way that it's all assembled, you can take this whole thing apart. It is definitely my favorite.
Pretty sturdy.
Yeah, it's very sturdy. The modeling techniques used in it, obviously being way more comfortable inside of Fusion 360 now. The snap together, or the snap in little details that are all over the place. Yeah, it's one of my favorite.
Yeah, you painted
projects.
it originally.
Yeah.
Like, nah.
Figured out that, you know, it's super cool when you're able to finish, you know, and do processing on cosplay props. But yeah, not having to do that is definitely a time saver. And of course, figuring out how to get the diffusion to work by just using blue tape to get this very nice unified glow on that.
That's right. Okay. Oh.
And then, yeah, with the new side lit LEDs, oh man, it's going to be making or cramming lights into smaller cosplay props.
Yeah, John Park really showed how well the side lit LEDs work with his lightsaber, for example, how well it kind of shoots out the light. And really, the community, again, took this on themselves to make it fit on their printers. So there's a lot of remixes of the sword.
Oh my god, I
and
can't
a lot
believe
of
how
makes,
many
probably
makes.
the most makes.
Holy crap.
From your projects.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun. Using the feather, so it's got all the built-in USB battery recharging. 3D printed Lego tape. You know, this is kind of the year that we got introduced to Lego. We didn't really grow up with Lego, and this project helped us kind of take a new hobby on. Building Legos is a lot of fun. So using NinjaFlex, we've been using NinjaFlex since like 2012, 2013, since it originally came out. We've been using NinjaFlex, and we keep finding new things to do with it. In this case, if you print on heated glass bed, it can cling to windows. This is like maybe half a pound of Lego pieces that are just on the window. There's no glue here, guys. It's just
yeah.
Maybe wet it down a little bit, and then it clings to it. I still have a little Lego strip on my iMac here. You know, it's still
been
stuck there
on since the project.
Since the project was
I'm
made.
surprised that we were able to find new characteristics on a material that came out, you know, 2012, 2013, whenever we started stocking it. And yeah, just super surprised on the differences on how you print it on a different bed. It takes the characteristics that are.
Yeah, we're just going to use double-sided tape or something, but yeah, it turned into a more of like, whoa, I didn't know you can do that with this filament. And we found that it only works with regular NinjaFlex, doesn't work with Cheetah. And really, this was kind of like an inspiration of that Kickstarter of the flexible Lego tape. And this stuff is in like Walmart and Walgreens.
It is everywhere, yeah. It's like in gas stations, I believe now.
Yeah. Hey, more CNC stuff. I made a case for the Raspberry Pi, which was an exercise in how do I design and set up the cam tool paths for making like a snap fit lid type enclosure for the Raspberry Pi.
Yeah, with multiple materials. You're using acrylic and wood. Pine? Oak?
It was pine and oak. It just didn't matter. So just kind of learning more CNC techniques and materials. So that was fun and time consuming.
But awesome results.
Yeah, really, really great results.
Moving on, a lot of these are PT's ideas, of course. He really wanted the little hand jewel from Logan's Run, so we figured, oh, okay, let's see how we could fit the Gemma and a battery inside the smallest enclosure we could, get that on your hand. And the biggest takeaway from this was using the medical grade tape that adheres to the back of 3D printed items and your skin. Even while you're sweating, it's able to maintain the
stickiness.
Actually, there's the adhesion. There's no residue left behind. I forget the name of it. It's in the guide.
It's a medical tape.
Yeah,
it's just
medical
meant
tape.
For that.
So
it's meant to stick on skin.
Really good way to adhere like LEDs or something like onto your body for cosplay. So that was the big like takeaway from this.
What
project.
I liked about it was that it's a fully contained circuit. Like it's this you crammed everything you could inside there. So the NeoPixel Jewel,
twist top as well.
The Gemma, it's a twist top. That was really cool. So no screws to fit this thing. There's no snap fit nubs. It's a twisty type. So using custom threads to make this enclosure that twists shut is really neat. More CNC stuff. I made a little case for the Joy Bonnet because, you know, it's a good small size for testing out things. And I have a small CNC machine. I have the other mill, and you know, picking a project that has a small board is really nice. So that was a lot of fun.
Moving on to another process video. We've been looking to make this because we do it on a bunch of our projects.
And
A little bit less
Is that
now
the one?
because of the feather boards. They have the enable pin that allows you to cut the power to it. But for those that don't have it, it's a nice little like step walkthrough on how to create an on and off JST switch for your battery.
Like the Logan's Run that
Yep,
uses
I had
a
that.
slide switch adapter. Yeah, it's just a little sub project. So now I can link to that project without having to say, here's 10 things you have to do before you start the actual project. So that was nice.
Yep.
The Feather Box was a good collaboration with Bill Binko from AT Makers, who was like, hey, can you make me a Feather Box, a generic multi-purpose enclosure for the feather, the line of feathers, and a battery. Because as he's making more and more projects, everybody needs a feather, a battery, and a switch. A feather, a battery, and a switch. So making this multi-purpose enclosure was a little bit challenging because thinking about different use cases for it and making it parametric as much as you could was really difficult, because if you change something, something else is going to break. So figuring that out was a lot of fun.
Yeah, so that's one of those projects where the user-driven parameters are able to edit on there without anything breaking. And then
There's
the
limitations,
large
but
customization of, because we have so many feather wings now, and so they're able to work with mostly all of them.
yeah. Yep.
The Ninja Flex Apple Watch band, you've been wanting to make
I've been
this one
wanting
for
to do
quite
this
a
for a
while
while.
now. This was, I guess, another exercise in creating usable, user editable parameters for this, so it
Yeah,
could
that's
increase the length of the band. Of course, laying different Ninja Flex colors on top of each other to create some really cool designs.
Yeah. We got some LCD shutter light valves.
Yes, this
displays.
was inspired by Naomi Wu, who got the attention of PT and Lamar to start stocking these. We got some really good suppliers for this. And of course, the first thing we had to do was make some glasses, so it was a nice exercise in making hinges for the what's it called, the frames for the glasses, and actually fitting those in there, and then making the little stuffing everything inside the frames for those. It was a nice, cool exercise.
Yeah, there's
in that.
actually some commercial sunglasses that do turn on and off.
Yes, yes.
And it's kind of a DIY version of it. I mean, they're meant for welding, right? I think?
Yeah, that's exactly what they're
for
meant.
welding helmets and stuff. So kind of a fun project.
Cool.
And we're getting closer to the beginning of the year. Oh my God, there's still so many.
I know, this is why
This is why we can fit them all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. Bluetooth MIDI. This was a project that was a collaboration with Todd Trace, who worked at Adafruit for a good while. And he wrote some code for making a wireless MIDI controller, basically. And I really wanted to play around with the different designs and different concepts, so I came up with this kind of hexagon pattern and the touch pads. So it's capacitive touch. Those little gray pieces are actually aluminum pieces that I machined, and there's a NeoPixel ring in the center, which is a step sequencer. It can also act as a MIDI controller. You can just kind of trigger different MIDI notes, maybe drum samples or whatever, because MIDI can do with anything really. And it's wireless, based on the feather, so everything is contained in this little box, snap fit box. Yeah, it's pretty neat. Camera ring light was kind of like our first uses of the RGBW NeoPixels. So getting really nice color temperatures out of these NeoPixel LEDs, because typically with regular RGB NeoPixel LEDs, you can't really get a good color that fits well with skin tones, so for photography and stuff like that. It's kind of neat. So this was actually inspired by Pedro's wife, Brandy, who was like, hey, could you make a camera light for my phone that kind of wraps around the entire phone and not just like on the phone? She has she's got all those little ones that like clip onto your phone, and they're not really that good. So this was like a really huge one. It kind of showcased how you can create custom shapes with various NeoPixel sticks and the quarter circles. I think is what they're called. We got a spy camera in the beginning of the year, or maybe a little bit of the last year. I can't remember. So this was just like cramming that with a feather and a little battery to make a little time-lapse camera.
I thought it was a trinket, no? To control the timer, yeah.
Yeah, it's a trinket. Trinket, and it's a kind of a keychain thing. And more Lego stuff. So this is neat. This is a little LED Lego brick. And Lego themselves don't make a LED Lego brick that kind of
in the style that
right. It doesn't like illuminate the brick. It shoots out the light more like a kind of a lamppost or really like a robot hand that kind of shoots out the light. It's not diffused, so it was fun. Well, you did this, so
yeah. Cramming all of the tiny little components inside of a Lego brick was always a nice challenge. So definitely doing more Lego. As you've seen, Lamar and Phil do have like a little Lego set that we were trying to get during the ideas phase of it. So maybe we'll like get all the pieces, because the designer who built that whole Lego set, the Adafruit Lego set for that, he does have all the designs available on his Flickr page. If you guys are ever interested in building one of those, I'm gonna source all the Lego pieces for that and actually do a little time-lapse Tuesday of that. So hopefully we'll get that for 2018.
Oh man, the fidget spinner. That lasted a good half of the year. And I jumped on it right as it was climbing up there. The popularity was really growing. And hey, the Adafruit logo is a really nice symmetrical logo for something that spins. I had a lot of fun learning how to use forms, a sculpting environment inside of Fusion to create this kind of really bubbly, super smooth Adafruit logo. It's not flat, it's actually smooth and bubbly. And it was a lot of fun learning how to do that. And it printed in different orientations as well. So that was a lot of fun. Energy sword. This was something that actually our neighbor brought it over. He's like, hey, I just bought this energy sword for my mom's birthday because she loves Halo. He's like, can you add more LEDs to it? Because it only had like 8 LEDs. And I was like, oh, this is cool, maybe. So it was a good experience in like hacking existing toys and just upgrading it with more LEDs.
I'm sure there's going to be more of that. Again, those side lit LEDs are going to make this a lot more easier. Cramming those in there. So
it's a lot of fun. They did a really nice job. Mattel or whoever engineered it did a really nice job on kind of disassembling it, not breaking it. It's not all glue. It's actually screwed together and stuff. It's pretty neat.
Very handy solder dispenser, Adabot head.
Use that every day.
We use that every single project.
Yeah, we need to upgrade him because
we're definitely going to do the multi-material printing using the palette for that. Since we didn't hot glue any of the eyes, so anytime we're using it, it is pretty easy to pop those in.
And that's why I put an X on his eye.
Yep, super handy for the design challenge in that was getting the little holders on the inside of that, fitting the 2 different diameter sized solder in there. Solder solder. Hey, NeoPixel bracelet. This was a lot of fun. This was super
fun. Dude, anytime we have an opportunity to play with light photography, we just go all out. I just love playing with light photography and getting the exposure right and getting different shapes and stuff. So we had a lot of fun coming up with these photos and stuff. But it's good use of the mini skinny pixels because they are all crammed inside these little cups.
Perfect.
You can use different things. This is Arduino. We could probably upgrade this to the CircuitPython, but it's using the fast LED library, and that's why you get like these really cool effects.
Yeah, creating the hinges for this was a nice little design challenge, fitting the trinket and all of the batteries and everything inside such a tiny space inside there.
A lot of threading.
And these really cool tiny magnets.
I didn't know magnets
really
were
made this. Yeah, this is what made everything work. Because otherwise, it would have had to create a latch of some sort. This works so perfect.
Look,
all the way this is, and the design inspiration that we were going from or off of was the little LED or the bracelet, the Galaxy bracelet from ThinkGeek.
This turned out way better than that.
Like half of the size of these giant bubbly design with these little tiny LEDs inside that was able to make it half the size of it. So that was always fun.
This is like an album cover. Pedro's hit new album, Love Pixola. Anywoodle, that's the end of 2017. A lot of fun, a lot of different disciplines and things like that. You know, when we go into the next year, we really don't go in with a plan like, all right, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. It really is things that kind of dictate what we're going to do, things outside of our heads. I don't know if that
Yeah,
makes
I
sense,
didn't know
but
how.
I didn't know I was going to make a guardian robot thing or a guardian sword.
Yeah,
or-
that.
I didn't know I was going to learn Eagle CAD and how to make libraries and stuff. You just kind of get in there, and you know, I think the takeaway is to when you're driven and you have a kind of sort of a goal in mind, go with it. Just follow that drive, that itch. Just keep going with it.
Yeah, halfway through a lot of these projects, I'm always like, oh no, I don't know, I don't think this is gonna work. But
Yeah.
at that point, there's no turning back now because I've already, sunk this much time to it, and
Right.
we have to release something for next week. So it's always a nice little motivator.
Having
there.
that's always a good motivator. You know, there was a lot of moments where I was stuck and I struggled and I don't know what to do next, and those are very hard. But you kind of, go outside and go play a game or something like that. Since it's our jobs, it becomes a little bit harder to do it every single week. So taking a break, doing something else really helps. I wish I had more more motivational words and stuff, but it's early and the show's almost over. I don't know. What do you guys think?
So definitely, it's really cool. Yeah, I didn't know how we were gonna top last year, but I think we did it.
Are we gonna be okay? Cool. Look, Imagination to Form says, yeah, do things outside of your head. Yeah, I don't know if that makes sense, but maybe. Hey, John Park is in the house. Hey, John.
Yo.
Good morning, man.
Morning.
We were going to end the show with
Promoting,
promoting John
yesterday.
Park.
Yeah,
And
John's-
yesterday.
the stream from the Adabox unboxing.
That's right.
John Park.
Yeah. John, are you going to be streaming tomorrow? I'm not sure. Let us know if you are. If not, take the day off.
Yeah, we're gonna take next week.
But
off.
yeah, yesterday was a great live stream. So if you didn't see it, check it out now.
Yeah, John
Good
had
unboxing.
a ton of really awesome projects go along with this unboxing. Definitely check all those out. Really cool step sequencer, snow lobe one, super awesome. I really like the.
Really led the way on the projects for Adabox 06.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sweet.
And if you guys want to check out any of the user specific guides, if you go over to the Learn Guide, you can actually click on everybody's, you can actually categorize by everybody. You can just click on their author name.
Yep. Oh wait,
and
actually,
it'll
I wanted
rearrange
to
those.
shout out Liz.
Oh yeah, Liz has started
Liz is
making
first,
projects. She has been doing a project every week for quite some time now, and I
Yeah.
think that she's going to be doing a lot more with us. So really awesome shout outs to her. Always well spoken and thought out really cool projects for using electronics and now 3D printing. So
Yeah.
check that out. Subscribe to her channel.
Yep. Whoop. And you can find her on the Learn system. It's right there in the homepage here.
She's working on some more.
Yeah. Sweet. And we have, we always have guest people too. So check out everybody there.
And
we're
yeah,
running
click
out
on
of-
John so you can see all of the awesome ones that he's been working on for Adabox.
Where? Sorry. Point.
Whenever you see the author name pop up, there you go.
Yay.
So you can categorize them all that way.
There you go.
So all those.
A lot of Circuit Playground stuff.
Yeah, the
This is
safe one
cool.
was really cool.
Yeah, a lot of Circuit Python as well.
Is nice. We're moving into being dedicated only to Circuit Python. So
Sweet. So check it out, folks.
have a nice
Lots of great stuff.
plethora of
Lots of great
projects on there.
authors, makers. Sophie Wong, can't forget Sophie Wong as well.
Oh my God!
with
Yes,
the,
yes.
With the
I think
Pi
she's working
Selfie
on some
bot.
more. Yeah.
That's a huge project.
Mm-hmm.
Super awesome.
And the Shinobit, I think Naomi is also working on a guide as well. So there's always really cool guides. Definitely make sure to check back on daily for that. I think we have an RSS feed for that. If you
For the
still
learning
use
guide?
that. I think so.
It gets posted on the Discord channel. Speaking of which, let's go over to the Discord.
Really
Take a look
cool
at some show and tell
projects
stuff.
that people have been posting in the Show and Tell channel. But definitely check out all of the other channels. We have everything from 3D printing, wearables, CircuitPython, live broadcast, of course. and
Feeling
a lot of-
festive. Caddy Roo is feeling festive. This is, I believe, a piezo and a servo, kind of just bringing these two together and making some movement and some sound. So that's a really good example and project. It's so fun. That's super cool. We have Brian, who's sharing some work in progress from her wife. Look at the stitching
This
work.
is
That's some
awesome.
nice stitching work, man. Look
Nice
at
little
that.
pixel artwork.
Yeah, it's like Toon
Love
Shaded
it.
Link. Right? Yeah. I missed this game. I didn't get to play it. Upgrade to the classic project. This is the TV Be Gone. The TV Be Gone is one of Lamar's maybe first kits, second kits, something like that. So making it, I think, USB powered, maybe? Looks like it, from the looks of it. Neat. We have Mox Matronic, who made a new version, through-hole version of the PWM Charlie
Whoa.
Plex Matrix. 144 JST things to there.
Oh my god.
That's fun.
It says time to solder. Oh my god.
Yeah, yeah. Azure Skies is, I think, playing around with
Lightsaber?
maybe a lightsaber. I think it's a lightsaber.
Yes, I see the
There's
hilt.
the hilt. Yeah,
Very cool.
very neat. We have Yanni is playing with the
The edge
the
connector
IoT
thing. Yeah.
device from Microsoft, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So that is, you're starting to see more of these boards with these connectors and just more
Yes.
onboard components.
So he did suggest making
systems.
a dock for that, and I'm definitely interested in seeing if the conductive PLA filament that we stock in the shop
Oh my
will
gosh.
work with having it being able to slot into a
Wow.
dock style enclosure. So definitely on the list for 2018.
Yep.
That'd be super cool.
We have JMKOS showing his own unboxing. Did you check it out?
Oh, cool. Yeah,
Yep.
definitely check.
Doing these unboxings is good. It's good exercise and just kind of video recording, editing, that sort of thing.
Play real quick. I think always shows up on the show and tell with really cool projects. So definitely check that out. Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, very cool. Again, it's like a good
Subscribe.
example in kind of filming and stuff like that.
Mhm.
You get that itch to film, do it.
Yes, yes. Always document.
Yes. More photos.
Azure
Azure
Skies.
Skies.
This one's really cool from Brian.
Yeah.
Really cool treasure box.
Yeah,
with
last week was the
a
frame, and this week it's like fully.
completely
So it's a nice
finished.
interactive
So awesome.
little box. This would be a really great gift box.
You can kind of hear the yeah.
That's really fun.
piezo
So
in there.
sound and lights combined and
Very
all that.
cool.
Hey, there's Bob. Good recommendation. Some more progress from Katika Creations on the GLaDOS.
Oh.
GLaDOS.
Very cool build.
This is a trophy. It's a Hackaday.io project by Sekila.
Wow.
Very neat trophy. I think it does stuff. I think it lights up. Nice assortment of dyes.
Nice little PIR sensor here with the feather and an RTC.
It's dark out. Wake. Here's a SparkFun fuse thing. Benchtop power supply, maybe.
Cool.
Northern Pike, or John K., he is playing around with different accessories for the microbit. This is a kind of coin cell powered.
Yeah, he actually just
Microbit?
mentioned in the YouTube chat about 2 microbits talking with radios as a doorbell.
Oh, wow.
That'd be really cool.
Oh, man.
Wow.
And, of course, Yishupu
Yishupu is
has his
going-
own microbit accessory.
Because-
handheld, the screen, buttons, and play some games.
Because after you've designed a whole gaming engine
Yeah.
inside of CircuitPython, why not
Expand it.
design a nice customized PCB to go along with it?
Yeah.
Very, very awesome work.
This is neat. This is Maxio.
Wow.
He just open sourced this. It's
Whoa.
Arduino, video game, Unity.
Interactive
And I'm
experiment.
not sure what accelerometer it is, but there's a link there. It is his Medium
Wow.
page, so you can check it
That's
out.
so cool.
Yeah. You're going to start seeing more of this type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Here's something interesting
Whoa.
from Guy. This is a Cherry MX custom kind of PC gamepad, I want to say.
Super cool.
Look at the insides of it. I don't know what it's made out of. I think it's like kind of clay or something like that. Pretty neat.
Ah.
It reminds me of Existent, the movie. It
does,
where there's
yeah.
like the organ stuff. It's pretty neat. Again, showing you that you don't have to kind of use 3D printing to make enclosures. You can use different types of materials. And we have this sort of calculator, I think it's a calculator. Yeah. VintageCalculators.com. Sweet. And some more photos of Brian's
Machine
Zelda
at work on
chess.
this looks so good.
Yeah.
Really cool.
I thought the actual Game Boy is in there. The actual cartridge is in there. And this is something I didn't see yet. What is this?
Christmas themed.
Oh no, it doesn't play.
Ah.
Oh well, you know, check it out. We'll you know, it's there. You can probably check on the photos thing. And Cascade is sharing his purple GM0. Haha.
Wow.
Wow, he's the first mounted that, I think. This is neat. It is a watch with a GM0, Flora GPS, and a 12 NeoPixel ring. And a jewel. I see the jewel there too.
Very cool.
Nice. Here's the insides of it.
Nice.
I like how people are like, hey, can I see the insides? I'm like, yeah, sure. Take photos of it. Sweet. There's your circuit sandwich.
There you go.
Circuit
Tasty.
hamburger.
I think
This is cool. I'm not
CNC?
sure if this is CNC'd or just machined with, you know, door presses and that sort of stuff, but it's neat. It's a tea light holder.
Is it 3D printed with wood fill?
Maybe I should make something like this using these guys here, the purge blocks.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there you go. It's a tea light holder. Because, I mean, it's dense, man. Still got that on the plan.
I just stole this. We have
he did
a
it.
mile-long list.
Yay, that's a huge accomplishment. Just surface mount all that stuff by hand, I think. Oh my god, look at that little dot star.
Wow.
It's insane.
Too cool.
Insane.
Proto smartwatch.
Wow, look at this. It's a felt crown, maybe? Tiara? What do you think it is? Yeah, crown. Felt and NeoPixel Rainbow Crown.
Very awesome.
By Archie Roques. Sorry, but your name. And it's just extractable. Awesome. Sweet, guys. Well, there's so many awesome projects to share. Thank you guys so much for sharing your projects and joining the community. I'm out of words. Like, seriously, my head just went.
I think that's going to do it for this year. Thank you all for joining us every single week.
Don't forget, there's a show and tell tonight.
Oh, yeah.
We're starting to step out of the show and
Yes,
tell.
we'll be on
standby
because we really like other people being able to get into the show and tell.
And we've been criticized before, like, hey, why is Noe Pedro on the show and tell? They have their own show. We should be able to have an open space. And it's really hard to get in now because so many people want to share it, and that's awesome. That's a good problem to have.
Yeah, so we'll be in the chat. We're always lurking in all of the chats. So
eating and like...
Yeah, we're eating and we're fixing a printer or something, so we're always there, so you can always add us for any questions. Always lurking. But yes, we're going to start to just be on standby for the show and tell, but definitely show up. Hopefully that gives at least one slot more open for you to join in and show off your awesome projects to Lamar and Phil every week, 7:30. I'm pretty sure there's still going to be one next week since Phil and Lamar do not sleep.
Yeah, they're robots.
Yep, so there'll always be an opportunity to show if you didn't get it in this week. Right after that, for Ask an Engineer, full hour of all the news, cool stuff coming out. Top secret projects that they're working on, so definitely tune in for that. And then, as always, don't forget, coupon code for this week, New Year, if you want to get 10% off on your order, use New Year during checkout.
Comments are great. Thank you guys so much for joining. Yes, we're gonna take the next week off, I believe.
Yeah. I need to still getting over
recharge,
being the head cold.
Yeah. Cool. Well,
but you can always check out our Twitters and Instagrams to find out some of the behind the scenes stuff that we're working on. Always editing a video to post up. Just as, you know, I'm using it as my memory now for all the Snapchats that you see. There's always like a ton more that I don't post that I use just to see what did I do that day? Or how did I assemble this?
Yes.
John Park will be on tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yep. So check them out.
John Park's Workshop. Tomorrow.
And then next week we're all taking off, I think.
Yes, I believe so.
Or maybe Lamar and Phil aren't. I don't know. We'll see.
They might. There's been some rare instances where they did take a week off, so
yeah.
Maybe.
Whew. Well, thank you guys so much for joining, and good luck with all your maker projects. Hope you guys had a safe and productive New Year. Don't forget to make a great day. I'm stealing that from John.
Have a great one.
Bye, guys. Clickety click.